We are back with another episode of Who Do You Want to Be? It is April. How is it April? I cannot believe it's April. We are in again from Dubai. So, welcome to all of those who are listening. And I am here with Sabine. How are you today, Sabine?
But in all honesty, this is a question that by now takes me some time to find the right answer to. I am okay is probably the best way to summarize it. I've definitely been much better, and I am certainly still adjusting. So everything that's happening at the moment, I feel like I have to literally take it day by day because every day is different. There are always changes, and having the kids at home all day and from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. in distance learning isn't necessarily helping me on my mompreneurial journey. So I am okay, I would say, but I've definitely been better. How about you?
For those of you who are not in Dubai and the UAE and wondering what we are talking about, we are in the middle of a war between the US and Iran. We just happen to be in the middle of it. So things have changed for us a little bit here. And like Sabine said, it's distance learning for the kids. The city's a little bit quiet and everyone's just trying to move forward with the situation that's going on. So things are different for us at the moment. And a bit like you, Sabine, I am also adjusting. And I'm just trying my best to stay as normal as possible. It's hard to say business as usual because it's not business as usual. But at the same time, there's not much you and I can do about the situation apart from just move forward. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep it normal for the kids, trying to be as patient as I can with their distance learning, which is really hard. And yeah, our working hours have changed. So usually I would work while the kids were at school. So from 8 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon was my working block. But now that's completely disappeared because I'm homeschooling with the kids. So my work day only starts like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which means I have much little time to get stuff done that I want to get done. Now, in the beginning, I was feeling quite down about this and that, oh my God, how am I going to get stuff done? But then I'm like, wait a minute, this is where AI can really help me. So I've been trying really hard to stay positive and just taking the time to see, okay, how can I do this better and faster and smarter using AI? Something that I need to do that I may not know how to do. How can I use AI to do it? So that's what I've been focusing on. And I have to say, I have had a few breakthroughs, let's say. So I've just started using Claude. I don't know. Are you familiar with Claude, Sabine?
Not really. In all honesty, I've tried it maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I looked into it when I really just started with AI overall and I wanted to know what's out there and what's available. And that time, Claude was mostly known for research. So if you had any research questions, you could put it there. Claude was known as the one that could help you with writing, for example, and not just like small posts for social media, but like rather long essays or reports or analyses. And at that point, that wasn't really my interest. So I took a very brief look at it, but then I turned away from it, to be honest. And ever since, I've been using ChatGPT, which is working quite well at this point.
So the reason I started using Claude was because I was a little bored of ChatGPT and I wanted to move forward in my own journey. Also, I wanted to start building an agent. And I was looking around to see what tool I should use to build my own agent. And after kind of being drowned in the sea of noise and information of what I should do, I said, I'm just going to try Claude. So I actually started my journey trying to build an agent with Claude because they said that Claude Code was the easiest way to build an agent. And because Claude is it's quite respected, I felt comfortable with the leadership that runs Claude in terms of the safety of the agent that I could build with it. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to try Claude and I'm going to build my own agent. And now I did that and I couldn't build my own agent because it's actually quite hard to build your own agent. It's hard to build an agent that knows what to do and how you want it done efficiently because there is a little bit of coding required. There's a bit of familiarity required with HTML and JSON codes and CSS, which I don't have. So half the time when I was trying to build this agent, the questions it was asking me, I didn't know what to do. So I kind of gave up and I said, you know what, maybe it's not time for me to build an agent yet. However, recently Claude Code released something called Cowork, which is not as basic as a chat and not as advanced as an agent. It is like in between. So I'm like, okay, let me try Cowork. What can this do that another chat can't do? And I started playing with it a couple of weeks ago. And once I got my head around it a little bit, the biggest task I needed done last week was I needed a new website because I have expanded my offers. I've changed my offer stack. I am delving into a few different avenues, and I wanted one place to be able to represent that professionally. And my first go-to was, I have my business on Kajabi, was to go find a nice Kajabi template, the quickest way, and find a nice template and just update the template. But the cheapest template I could find that I liked, that actually represented me in this with my new offer stack, was a minimum $1,000. And while that's not a lot of money to build a website, it's not something I wanted to spend right away. So I said, you know what? I'm going to just try and see if Cowork, because it claims it can do everything, can build me a website. And I set it up with all the information about my business. And I also asked it to give me a new design, new color scheme, new everything, because I have no idea what I wanted. And literally, we took maybe 40 minutes to go back and forth with the content, the direction, and the color scheme. And then I just said, I love it, build it for me. And it built me a homepage in HTML in literally 1 hour. It required a few back and forths, but literally in 2 hours, I had a website that I really liked done. And then all I had to do was find a place to host it. So I decided to do it on Kajabi because I pay for Kajabi anyway. I asked Cowork if it can do it on Kajabi because I didn't know how to put it on Kajabi. And it opened Kajabi for me instead of doing it, but then I hit the limit, so I couldn't complete it. And then I just asked Claude, how can I do this myself? And they're like, why don't you just take the HTML and copy paste it into the CSS code of Kajabi? And I'm like, okay, how do I do that? And then it told me step by step, okay, take the code, copy it from here, open this page, go here, go here, go here, copy paste, click save, preview. And my website was done. Now I couldn't believe this. I was just like, what just happened? Because so for those of you who are business owners, getting a website done in a way that you like it is not just a task, it is a job. I feel like it's a job. It's like a big thing that you need to get done once and for all. Now, I've been running my business for 3 years now, and I've never invested in a website. So the fact that I could just do this myself without still investing in it, I just find it amazing. So that's what I'm doing now. And now that I've done that, I feel like I'm just left, right, and center experimenting with Claude Cowork, all the other things I can do. Like I cleaned my desktop up. Like the stuff that, honestly, in the situation we're in, the last thing I would want to do right now is clean my desktop. I don't have time for it. But it's very stressful to have a messy desktop, isn't it? It's so stressful to have a messy desktop. Claude Cowork cleaned up my desktop in 2 minutes. So the message I wanted to give you is that if you are really scrambling with time, maybe you're in the UAE, maybe you're not, give Claude a try. And maybe you think that I don't have time to try something else because you already have a list of million things to do for yourself and your kids and maybe your house. If I can build a fully fledged website, I will link it in the show notes so you can see it. If I can build a full-fledged, 5-page website in 3 hours in Claude and still feel like my business is running because I have a nice place to send people to get my leads so that I can funnel my business, that is a huge achievement considering the situation we are in.
That is absolutely true. I mean, in all honesty, it's quite breathtaking what you've just described, because I really didn't expect that something like this would be accessible to normal people like you and me, to just be able, with the right prompt and the right understanding of what do I actually want out of this, to get Claude or any other platform to build me an entire homepage. Because, I mean, as you said, as business owners, homepages usually are definitely one thing that we see as the face of our services. This is how we are explaining to the people out there, what we're doing, what they can do with us, how we can help and support them. And I've probably had 3 or 4 versions of my homepage. I was never really satisfied. Now at the moment, I have a version that is more or less okay, but I'm still thinking, I would actually want to redo it. And that's all it is. At the moment, it's just really for me to think, I actually want to redo it, because up until our conversation just now, everything that then came up for me was, okay, if I want to redo it, I will have to find a developer who's doing it for me. So I will have to find someone who's in my price range. I will have to find someone who ideally is in my time zone, so I don't have to wait one day every time I get a response. I will have to find someone who actually really understands what I want, who can translate my words into the visuals that I'm looking for. And then I still have to provide the photos and so on and so forth. So that turned me off, to be honest, when it comes to rebuilding my homepage. But now, knowing that there is a public tool that I can use to rebuild my homepage, and then also knowing that with that same tool, I can probably also, for me, my desktop isn't the biggest problem, but my folders are super messy because I just put everything in there. And then I'm not even exaggerating. I have thousands of screenshots that just have the name screenshot. And I have to open it to actually see what's on it. And as you said, those are just really small things, but they take so much time. And time has probably never been more valuable to me than it is right now. Because also I'm getting up in the morning and I already feel that half of my day is not under my control, because I am setting up online school, then I'm helping with the assessments, then I'm uploading them in the right places, then I'm coordinating with other parents when we have other questions, and so on and so forth, dialing back into the meetings and all of that. And doing that for multiple kids at the same time is really no fun. And then I have to recover after that when it's 2 p.m. And that's where my meetings start. And I already have evening meetings from 8 to 9 on most regular days anyways. So I am missing out a lot of time. And in all honesty, I also feel that being productive at the moment from a motivational point of view is a huge challenge for so many of us, because we don't just have to deal with the fact that we have less time available. We also have to deal with the fact that there's so much uncertainty. We don't know what's happening out there. We don't know what tomorrow brings. We don't know how much longer distance learning is actually going on. We don't know, for example, when the activities for the kids are resuming, or if other families are returning to the UAE so we can have our kids finally have some social contact again. All of those things. The most important thing, of course, is yes, we know that we are safe where we are. And I am still extremely grateful for that, despite everything that's going on. But all of that has an impact on our mental capacity, and it drains our energy. So how can I then even be 100% motivated and focused when I know, okay, this is the time window that I have, and it's very limited. So looking at these solutions that you just shared with us, Abba, actually is something that really motivates me, because it tells me, you know what? There are solutions for you out there. You don't have to do it all alone. Just go and get Claude or whatever other AI tool, do the work for you. So thank you for sharing that, Abba. Actually, that's quite a motivation boost.
No, I'm glad you said that, because I was feeling the same last week. I was just feeling so demotivated. And then I was looking at my website and being like, oh my God, even if I wanted to move forward in my business, look at my website. And that further added a demotivation to me. And then the fact that I could use Claude and actually get stuff done helped me snap out of that and be a bit more motivated because of how quickly it was done. And it gave me that positive energy back, because I'm like, I have a website now, I need to put it out there, you know. So yeah, we are in strange times right now, and if we can use the supportive tools that we have, this is what we should be using them for. So if anybody's interested, of even you, obviously, Sabine, if you're interested in moving to Claude or using Claude, there are 2 things I'm going to offer. The first thing is I have created a very quick starter guide that is like, it's a free starter guide. I'll link it in the description, which you can just check it out, and it will kind of get you started with Claude. And you've actually given me the idea, maybe I should put out a guide on how to build your website with Claude.
Awesome.
Maybe I should do that.
Yeah.
It's not something I was thinking of, but I'm like, because I actually have to think now. I'm going to have to go back to my instructions and look at how I made it happen, and then just create a guide out of it. So I can share that with you once I've done it, so that you can maybe, when you have some time during this distance learning, play with it, and maybe you have a website in the next couple of weeks that you love.
That would be
So,
amazing, Abba. Thank you. Absolutely.
so that's what we had for today, really. And I think the message is, again, coming back to the whole point of this podcast, like, life throws so many things at us all the time. And of course, it's easy for us to sit here and say, be motivated and try to do this and try to do that. But the truth is, it's so internal for you to decide, who do you want to be in this situation. And again, of course, easier said than done. But if you do find yourself in the middle of a situation like we're in, know that there is always a solution. And if getting stuff done is a problem for you right now, for whatever reason, just try using AI. AI has a solution to get a lot of stuff done very well. Now, if you don't know how to do it, just ask it. Literally, you could go to Claude or even ChatGPT. ChatGPT is not very good at design or building stuff, although I am told that its coding is good, but I've not tried to build a website in ChatGPT, so let's not go there. But let's say if you want to build a website in Claude like I did, and you didn't have a guide or you didn't have a way forward, just ask it. I want you to build me a website. How can you help me do this? And literally it will talk you through it, and then you follow through. So things are easier than you think, and there is a way out. We're quite lucky to have tools at our fingertips now. So I urge you all to take the opportunity. And if you're feeling overwhelmed and drowned in work and not having enough time to get stuff done, open AI, ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude, or even Grok, whichever tool you're paying for, open it and try using it in a different way, in a way that you haven't used it yet. Pick a task that's really overwhelming you at this time and ask for help from one of these tools and see what it tells you. Maybe that will take something off your list and bring back a little bit of motivation. So thank you for listening, and we will see you again in May.